Welcome back to the studio. Today I'm going to be working on the Holy Cow. I took this to my local quilt shop to get backing for it, and I found a really cute one, and I can't believe how many people in the shop were asking, where did you get that? Where can I get one? So if you're going to get one of these, maybe get two, because people really seem to like it. So we're going to pop this on. I don't anticipate it's going to take an awful long time to quilt this up because it's pretty small. But I'm going to pull you in. I will tell you what I went through to find my quilting design. Because it's small, I wanted to go through and find something that was pretty small in the quilting size, in height. And I wanted something around 4 inches high. So we can't really narrow down 4 inches in the filter on the website. So what I did do was just type in the word sashing in the search on the Urban Elements page. And that brought up all of the different designs that also have a sashing as part of the design components. So I looked through all of those and I picked out a couple that would have been okay. And they were about 4 inches, and I thought that would be okay for the scale of this piece. But it really wasn't cinching me. And then I tried to think, well, let me just type in cow. I typed in moo, just to see what else might come up. And I'm telling you, I just wasn't getting it. I didn't want to put something like barnyard animal quilting on here, or something too novelty on the novelty. I just didn't want to do that. So then I was thinking about a story that my friend told me about his son, and it's this, we can all relate to this story, about putting a straw in a carton of milk, and when you blow into the straw and you get all those bubbles coming out of the milk carton. Of course his was chocolate milk, but I just was thinking about the bubbles. And I found this design. Of course it's not called, well, it's called Apricot Moon's Bubbles. And kind of the neat thing about this particular design is it's an overlapping design. So there's no gap, it's actually a negative gap, it overlaps. So I'll bring you in just a little bit so you can see that. And then we're going to go ahead and pop right over to the machine after I get the top loaded, and we'll get it started. You can see here Apricot Moon Bubbles, and the size of this is 6 inches high, so that means this part here is 6 inches. I could decrease it or increase it a little bit, but also you can see in the black here, that's one individual row, and then in the khaki color, those are the before and after rows, but you can see it overlaps a little bit. So there's no gap at all in between the two rows. So that is kind of fun, and you know, you could play a little bit plus or minus with that. It doesn't have to be exact. So this is the one I chose, and I think it's going to go pretty quick. I don't remember how tall this is, this piece. 35, 25, about 24, 25 inches or something. It's not that big. So it should quilt up pretty quick. But I'm going to go ahead, and I'm just going to go ahead and throw this over to the quilting machine, and it should just get loaded just that fast. Just as we've done before, we're going to go ahead and design sew quilt, start new. We have a work in progress. Do we want to erase it? Well, that was our last project, so yes. Do we want to permanently erase it? Yes. And do we want to reset the clock? Yes. I really don't ever keep track of time because that's not my thing. So I'm going to be using a pantograph today, and I'm going to enter the rectangle manually because I couldn't get it down all the way to here anyway, so I couldn't measure the whole thing. So I'm going to do 26 by 26. And there you'll see my visual representation of the size of this quilt on the screen. So I can hit finished, and then I'm going to go down to my downloads, and here we have it, Apricot Moon. I'm going to bring that in twice, once for the even and once for the odd rows. So for the gap, we want to completely eliminate that, so I'm just going to keep moving until those are overlapping a little bit. And then we're going to go back to the pattern height. And right now our pattern height is at 15 inches, and we need to get that all the way back down to 6. So we're adjusting the row height, but what we need to get to is the pattern height. So I just need to keep going down until we get to that function here. We're at 6.4 now. There we are. We're at 6.003. So that's pretty close. And I can't really tell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows. We have 6 rows, but I think I'm only going to have to roll the quilt up one time. So that isn't too bad. I can hit finished. Transition type is going to be continuous. I'll accept that. And I can go ahead and sew quilt. Panto sequencing. Selecting my first pattern. I just erased my sequence because I wanted to sequence the whole thing. Okay, I like to alternate the rows left to right, right to left, so I'll do that. And I'm always going to tie off in between rows, and I want to do the whole quilt. So now the entire quilt is sequenced, and that way I can keep track of the rows when I'm done. And if I need to shut off the computer for any reason in the middle, I've already got it all set up, and I can just turn it back on and I know where I'm at. So I can go ahead and hit sew quilt, and it's going to go right to my first stop. Pull up my first thread. And I can go ahead and hit start. I'm going to slow this down just a little bit and adjust my tension. Now I'll hit start. And I'm just using an Ecru isocord thread in both the top and the bottom. I didn't want to go with black here, and I didn't want to go with orange here, and I didn't really want to go with stark white, so I'm just going to go with the Ecru. We've finished 3 rows already, and I only have 7.8 minutes left, so I'm going to go ahead and keep going, and before you know it, this very simple block is going to be done. I will say I think I might have shrunk the bubbles a little bit smaller, but still I'm very happy with the outcome so far. I've just done my one roll up that I'm going to have to do for this quilt. So I'm going to go ahead and baste the side and bottom back down. I'm going to have to trim the bottom because it's a little cockamamie. I think I stretched it a little bit. Okay, so we're going to realign, zoom in to where we finished. This is where I'm going to zoom into. I'm going to put the needle right on that spot where the E4 was. And I should be right at my start of row 5. I finished. I need to trim that up a little bit better. This is it. Holy cow! Holy cow! I finished. This is the cover color sheet off of the applique pattern. We have a ton of appliques in the catalog. You can order those off the website or just look on the website for the different applique patterns. And also the digital designs from Apricot Moon, which is one of our many designers on the website. They have a lot of new stuff. I like a lot of their stuff. I'm glad I got to use one of theirs today. So this was Apricot Moon's Bubbles, and this went pretty quick, but I knew it would because of the size of it. And I'm trying to coordinate all my orange and black. This isn't really a Halloween quilt at all, but because of the colors, orange and black, it seemed thematic today. So anyway, thanks for stopping in the studio. Thanks for spending a little bit of time with me. I know I don't get to hear you or see you, but leave me a comment, and that way I can hear you in one way or another. Until next time, take care of yourself and take care of each other. Hasta la vista. Holy cow!